and we in there. Peace and love to all the guys and gals and now vibrating species on the planet. What it is, what it do, man. Come on in. Welcome back to the channel. What we doing out there? How we living? Y'all good? Everybody good? You. Come on in. Cali mates. Welcome back, man. Y'all come on in. Come on in here. Hit that like button. That subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? Give it a share too if you like. Cause salute Shadow Law. They watching y'all. So we got to put some pressure on the algorithm. So again, on behalf of myself and my team, we appreciate it greatly. We greatly appreciate it, you know. Come on in. Have a seat. New guy, come on in. I seen you looking. Come on. It's all good. We just working on the SCPs. We just looking at the monsters. We looking at the monsters. We call it the realm of the monsters, and we just want to check them out. We on mission. Boots on the ground. We just here to look around. You know what I'm talking about? We do not implore that you believe anything that we view on these channels. Salute to them. But we do ask that you do your due diligence. Keep your critical thinking cap on at all times, even when you are considered to be sleeping, which is just to transition over to the other realm while you live this one out and let your avatar rest. Whatever you subscribe to, okay? But yeah, salute to those channels. Again, we got one, the Exploring series right here. And we're going to look at a document recovered in the Marianas Trench, y'all. Seems pretty interesting, seeing that the ocean's been very active lately. A lot of beaching going on. It must be some mad frequencies in that water, or some and then some of the capstone to melt. Some extra big things from the the days of old are returning. The Titans are returning. You know, thank me later. Just do your due diligence, you know. That's what we do implore. Do due diligence. And we ask that you go deeper than the surface. Don't just, if you Google something, don't just do page 1, 2, 3. You may have to go 10, 20, maybe even 100. And you may also even have to check out different browsers. Every browser don't host the same information. Just like America doesn't receive the same information that that's actually broadcast in China, right? Or any other country outside of the borders of this country, right? We get fed one story, they get fed another. That's why there's bickering between the people until the people actually get over here and experience America, and we get over there and experience. Like I went to London, I got to experience it, and I talked to the locals, the natives there, the people there. You know what I mean? It's a difference. They get an understanding when you're standing right there in front of them and you get to explain to them actually what's going on. Then they actually come over and then they see it. And it's like, oh. So why does the news? It's like, yeah. Okay, but anyway, that's another story. Let's check out this document recovered. Let's see how much they omitted and how much they're going to release to us. And let's see if we can cross-reference and find this with anything that's possibly out there that they've actually put in front of us. You know what I mean? And, you know, sweat it. So, Academates, I hope you have what you need, because I do. And without further ado, we're going to get to what it is that we do. Bustin.
Document recovered from the Marianas Trench. The SCP Foundation, with all of their vast resources, knowledge, and capabilities, really has only one goal.
What's that?
Maintain normality. Every monster that is
that is not secure, contain, and protect.
Pain, every phenomena that is covered up, and every incident that is wiped away is done so that everyday humans can continue their everyday lives.
Yeah, right.
By and large, this goal is successful and life goes on. But we've looked at some examples where the public gets a proper eyeful of the other side of the veil, such as the broken masquerade cannon. The tale I'll be reading today, the document recovered from the Marianas Trench, details a scenario in which things go very wrong for the world, and the Foundation races to return things to normal. It's not
Let's see
an
you do it this
especially
time.
long
What can you do
tale,
it this
and
time?
it actually doesn't reference any existing SCPs, but the implications are especially scintillating. I need to write this down, because I
won't be
forget things
neuralizing that,
sometimes, and I think what I heard today was important. Not to me. The time for me, or almost anyone else alive on Earth today, to make a difference has passed. But someone, somewhere, might be able to make something of this, or at least find it helpful, or something.
You talking about son?
Once I'm done, I'm going to seal it up in a pipe, coat it in wax, and chuck it into the ravine. Maybe someday, someone will read this and try to put things together.
Okay.
If they're allowed to.
I'm listening. Listen.
I'd love to start at the beginning, but I'm honestly not sure.
I'm listening. Now see, that's the problem. That's one of the initial problems right there. There's too much of that going on. A little bit too much of that going on. And I know some of y'all out there don't, you know what I mean? You get it, but it's like, man, you know. And then there's others out there, they was like, man, for real, yeah, bruh. Yeah, you go too far. You go too far, man. You know what I mean? And they're like, shit, I'm out of it, you know? And they take it. You feel me? But they like, man, because it's crazy. It's crazy. And this man sit here and say, like, you have to sit here and say if they are allowed to. Now we know this what's that? The First Amendment, to be able to voice your opinion. Now I understand that deeply when I first heard it, and when I hear it any time, I have to put it in my own perspective. And it's like, you have the freedom of speech, but they didn't say that it didn't come with consequence. You know what I mean? But they didn't say it comes with reward either. So I mean, it's the balance there. It's bittersweet, and it's your heart that's gonna judge what spectrum on balance that is that you are. You know what I mean? Like, if you know something, you need to come on. I mean, it's how can you sit on something? Like, my question is this, y'all. How can you sit on something, look the part, but you don't feel it? So it's almost like it's a lose-lose. You have put yourself in a situation to where the glamour to the people is all the people see. They wouldn't believe that you don't have what you have, or they wouldn't possibly believe that you are as miserable as you are, because they don't know what you've been through. They haven't seen what you've seen. They haven't endured what you've endured. So to keep quiet about something and still live in the same misery, having nothing to do, and being like, basically you're powerless, bro. Now that's prison. That's a slave. That's what you call a slave, man. So but I'm not under any contracts with anybody like that. You know what I mean? So this right here, I know it's consequence behind it, but if I'm speaking that truth, then that's what I'm gonna stand on. And if you gotta come against that, then that shows what you are. See what I'm saying? So that's one of the initial issues here. It's like people not being allowed to give out information to other people. Like, what the fuck are we supposed to talk about? I don't watch sports, so I couldn't tell you who was the best shooter. You know what I mean? I couldn't tell you. I played sports back then, but I don't watch them now. I got other things going on that I have to pay attention to, and that's not one of them. And it's capitulating to that type of stuff that I just can't do. And a lot of other stuff on the media. That's why I'm here doing these. You know what I mean? This interests me more because I've seen and I've felt and I've, you know what I mean? So I'm tired of wondering. I got to go find this stuff. I got to see it. Why do I feel these things? Why am I having all these booms in my mind and these resonations of you know what I'm saying, of these things, but not with sports and all this other shit. You know what I'm saying? It's actually irritating to see how all my folks, you know what I'm saying? Not everybody, my folks though, the Niji out here, they just. You're all I'm done. All right, I'm done. I'm done. Yeah, but I'm just saying that's just how my mind goes, guys. When it goes to something just so simple, if they're allowed to tell you, like, damn, bro, what have you done in the background that this man could say that you don't know what he's gonna say, that he could say to this, put a damper in anything that you've done already so far that you've said to somebody. Like, that's just not fair. And if you're not, your CT is completely off if you don't think that. See, that's why I tell academics, that's why I tell class, you know what I'm saying, if you knew, that's why I tell the class to keep, you know what I'm saying, keep the head on the swivel, but it definitely keep your CT on. Because I'm listening. It might be seem like I be off sometimes, but I be listening. You know what I'm saying? I got these. I'm listening. And that right there, if they're allowed to. Red flag. Yeah, you should automatically red flag it. Come on, man. Nobody has a clue. This dude put a message in a pipe and threw it in the water. You found it. Now we finna crack it open. But it's like, hold on, let's see what it's gonna say first before we. Come on, bruh. You man. Listen, I try to keep it, you know what I'm saying, PG round here. You know what I'm saying, for any children that may be possibly watching, you know what I mean? But I go there. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I let them loose. You feel me? And I do apologize at those times and any other time. But sometimes you be like, man, that's some fuck nigga shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to say it sometimes. Like, bro, that's some straight fuck shit. Like, let's let the Mystic 12 or 13, Majestic 13, you know what I'm saying? Let's let them look at it first. And then we gonna let the Royals look at it, you know what I'm saying? We gonna let everybody up top look at it first. And then we gonna spoon feed them. Oh, we can't even put that in there, bro, 'cause that's gonna mess up the whole ordeal right there, cuz. You know what I'm saying? So now let's leave that at. Let's leave that at. And now you got people stuck in a book and they only stuck on one verse. And they don't even know what that verse means. They just think they know what it means. But I'm here to tell you, when you get into the Hebrew and the translations of it, what you think it means is not what that means. And I'm talking about 3:16. Yeah, it's that. Yeah, that's no. That don't go for everybody, but y'all go do it on your own. I learned. I did all that. I had to learn myself. It was a shocker to me too. Like, what? That ain't what that means. See what I'm saying? So when stuff like this, when you got other people that have to look at it first, and somebody can't just, John Kennedy, that, you feel me? We finna bring this out, man. Come on, man. Come out here. And all of a sudden, y'all, what happened to JF? You feel me? What happened to him? Because he wanted to get this and bring it right here. Hey, man, let's let these folks know that there's something in the skies. And some of them look like them guys. Why? Is it that bad? Did y'all do something that bad? I know what you did, but everybody else don't know what you did. But it's the age of Aquarius, so you know what I'm saying? The ones that needs to know gonna know. The ones that don't want to pay attention, they on the list to go. And those that know and still keep your head down, you on the list to go. And those of cognitive dissonance, you finna go. You feel me? I'm just saying. I'm just here to give the message like so many more of me. You know what I'm saying? They're just like me. And they've come before me. And some of them on some way. We're not all looking at monsters. You feel me? We're everywhere. Across the spectrum, in every facet, giving this message, delivering this message in so many different ways. And people just want to be in disbelief. But nobody does I ain't going to say nobody. Most people that respond or just think it, even when you're thinking it, you don't go and do the due diligence. So we have to leave it up to these people to tell us, and then y'all take that for face value, and that's where we get it wrong, people. We got to be smarter than that. And that's why they do what they do to us. We just, okay. Just with the okie doke. Okay. I guess that's what it is. What? Who said that we had to accept that? When there's other options. Let's weigh them. Now, how many people we've seen here at the bottom, so they say, come up with some of the most profound higher knowledges in sciences that's just level groundbreaking, and nobody lets us through the gate. And we sitting here like, dang, bro, why you ain't? How many times? You know what I'm saying? Think about it. How many times that you've seen these type people just doing these things on this level and still nothing? Come on, bro. So, yeah, come on. So we have to be able to do this ourselves, and we got to look. The knowledge is there. We just got to put it together and understand what's happened. And this is what we're dealing with. If they're allowed to. Now, if you're, you got a question. I'm sorry, y'all. It's just like man. Is that freedom?
When the world started to end. Could have been years and years before the final bits, or it could have been all at once. Everything was so grim, what with warmer air, cooler seas, too little gas, and too many people. Things could have been unraveling for ages before things bubbled up to the public eye. What I and others remember most was when the Disney magic sank. It was then, I think, that most people started to think that things might be worse than they seemed. The Disney Magic was a big cruise ship, one of those liner jobs that tools around islands and stuff. One day, the news was all screaming about how it suddenly just went down when it was trying to put into port.
Damn.
The weird thing about it was how there was no video of it for a long time. Some still pictures of it floating fine, but none of it actually going down. Then, somehow, a tape showed up, and the news started playing it. I have to imagine they didn't review it first. The ship was puffing along, strong and fast, little boats bobbing around it, looking like every vacation lover's dream, when suddenly it stopped. I mean, stopped. Just a dead halt, like it had just slammed into a mountain. You could see people go lurching forward all over the deck, a bunch of junk fall off the sides, a real mess. It's all still for a few seconds. Then suddenly there's this foaming behind the ship. Most people assumed it was the engine trying to fire up again. Then the arm came up. I'm not sure if it actually was an arm, but it was some kind of limb, and it must have been 100 feet long at least. It reached up along the side of the boat and just ripped it open. I mean, unzipped it like a coat, and you could see all the people inside screaming and running. It was awful. Then you saw something lurch up, a big, spiny shape pushing against that gap, shoving in. Then there was an explosion on its back, and the camera whipped up to show a couple of jets whizzing by. Then it ended. I remember just sitting there, stunned, looking at the TV, barely noticing the president coming on to declare a state of emergency. I think it was 2 or 3 days later when the TV went under full government control, but it may have been a week, I'm not sure. Internet got clamped later, but soon all you could hear, read, or see was, "Remain calm, everything is under control." The oddest thing was that life really didn't change much for a while. Bills still came, still had to work, go to school, all that. Just a lot more scared faces and a lot more weird talk. Pretty soon we were getting told that whole towns were being evacuated, that there was a plague or a riot or a terrorist bomb or some other nightmare. My brother down south said that they got moved because of a huge wildfire. The weird thing was, he said that the fire moved oddly, seemed to shoot right for gas or brush, and didn't travel evenly. That after a while he swore he saw what looked like a 20-foot-tall man of fire walking and eating everything.
Elemental.
The call got dropped right after he said that. I haven't talked to him since. So things got worse, little by little. People kept being moved, and there was no real way to communicate with each other anymore that was really reliable, so it was hard to say just how bad things were. Still, word of mouth was still going strong, and it was creepy. Crazy shit, really. Stuff about zombies in the north, killing frenzies in the east, a place near the ocean where the ground was alive and eating people, a cult screaming about the second coming and killing people to buy off God. I started pulling more and more away from people, just to get some ignorant peace of mind. Looking back, that probably saved my life. Finally, one day, I woke up and there was blood on my window. It was outside, and I could hear some insane shit going down outside. Screaming, clanking, gunshots, and a smell like burning wires. I hid. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I left my fellow man to rot and hid inside for almost a full week, long after the noise stopped. After the 5th day, the electricity and gas gave out, along with the running water. When I finally got hard up for supplies, I poked my nose out and saw that the whole west side of the world was gone. Now, I don't know for sure if it actually is gone, but there is a cliff that starts 30 feet to the west of my house, and I cannot see the bottom of it. I also can't see the other side of this ravine, so for all intents and purposes, that part of the world is gone for me. The suburb I was in looked like a war zone. Blood and broken stuff everywhere, houses carved up. No bodies, though, which I still think was weird. I scrounged up some food and stuff from some of the houses, then went back home. I've been doing that for a while now. I'm not sure how long, really. Might have been years and years, or just a few months. It's hard to say. Sometimes the sun just sticks in one spot for what feels like days. Other times these clouds roll in and you can't see 2 feet. There's things around, too. I run at the first noise, but I think they're about man-sized, and they seem to like metal. Other little things scramble around in the rubble sometimes, so I try and keep clear. One time, a thing that looked like a pill bug the size of a cat crawled out, looked at me, and screamed, "Stop," in perfect English. I hid inside for days. There are also these big blimp things that float around sometimes. They have little bug legs on their undersides, and they look kind of like maggots, but with eyes all over. They eat everything when they land, but most of the time they stay high up. One of these had just passed when I found the hurt guy. He was all ripped up and looked like one of those SWAT team guys you see on TV sometimes, but his combat suit thing was all ripped to hell. I dragged him back home, and then we talked. He said that he had been hunting the blimp thing, but had gotten attacked. He wouldn't say by what, but he looked like he was on his last legs. I fed him some canned beans and some water, and he seemed to come around a little. Asked me who I was, if I was all right and all that. He seemed kind of shocked when I said he was the first person I'd seen since the rest of the world vanished. He told me it wasn't gone, just relocated, but wouldn't say what that meant. I helped heal him up and kept asking who he was, but he wouldn't say. Finally, he said, screw it, that his orders were probably no good anymore anyway, and told me. He said he worked for a foundation or something, and that they were like a combination jail and research center. He said that he was one of the agents who went around trying to find strange stuff and keep it from hurting people. I said he was doing a hell of a job so far, and he laughed pretty hard. He said something had happened, and that a bunch of these things had gotten loose at the same time, and caused this foundation place to lose control. He said it became a GH0 dead greenhouse scenario. I asked him what that meant, and he looked at me for a while before going on. He said that's what they call a situation where everybody on Earth dies, but the Earth itself is still okay and can support life. I asked, what did that matter if everybody's dead? And he smiled strangely. I asked him if anyone else on Earth was still alive, and he said yes, but carefully spread out and contained. After that, I just sort of sat and digested things for a bit, and the man started stretching and checking his cuts. He was starting to pull his boots on when I asked what happens now. He said that they have to reboot things. Said they have the technology to recreate almost anything, and that making people is actually pretty easy. Said that they would clean out and contain things, rebuild the broken cities, and repopulate them. It would take a long, long time, but he said they would eventually get things back to the way they were before. Even said they could recreate memories and stuff.
Two things. Creating memories? No. That's harvesting consciousness, people's consciousness. Think of the movie, several movies, where they transfer conscience. You know what I mean? Alright, that's one. The first one was clone. They're cloning people. Of course you need a memory bank, otherwise you have a empty shell. And then that's an empty shell anyway. That's clones, that's not a soul. That's artificial. It's synthetic. That's a synthetic robot, bro. That's not. No soul. That's no life there. You know what I mean? That's. Now, when we're talking robotics, I can't even say that's spirit. But when it's a clone, yeah, that's electricity. You know what I mean? Just like the robot. So yeah, it's about the same. It's the same. I'm sorry. It's the same. It's electricity. You know what I mean? It's not magnetism. So it's definitely not souls in these bodies. So that's just one thing to know about a clone. Your soul is, buddy. Whatever that means to you. Story. But that's you lacking that ain't gonna get you this. The evolution, you know what I'm saying, the rise and get into certain dimensions. Without that soul, buddy, there's no way. It's like you're gonna get up here to do. It's gonna be doing that. You're not going any further without that solar plexus, baby. You don't have that, no go. And then check this out, y'all. You gotta know their language. This means something. This is significant to them, and it got something to do with babies. You know what I'm talking about? Check that out. Look into that. Come on, man. Why would you put this right here? Out of all the pictures you could have found, damn this building. What's this? Is this what's going on here? Is this the message? Y'all doing this right here in this place? Cause all this other shit fucked up. They look like that's running operational right there, baby. It look like something can land up there or something. You feel? What's all this back here, bro? Cause they just don't look like this. They look like they got it going on that side of the spectrum.
Just sat, kind of stunned, and watched him as he just kept going along, getting dressed like this was all no big deal.
I mean, bro,
I told him he was nuts. There was no way people could just forget that this could all just be swept away. He stopped, looked at me, smiled, and then said, "Why not? It's been done before."
I was finna say,
I don't know if that man was crazy or not, but I think he was sane. As he was leaving, he said something about putting my house underwater. Please, don't let them brush me away. Don't let them hide us. Try and find more. I know there's got to be more people who try to leave something behind. Don't let the world die in vain. Remember us.
Remember who? I ain't trying to look, Academy. I'll be honest with you. I ain't trying to remember nothing that's been trying to hold people down and tell people lies. When you gone, you gone. I ain't trying to remember. We gonna put that in the Kasha records, and I'm like, nah, man, put that. You know what I'm saying? I'm good on that chapter, bro. Like I got what I need. You know what I mean? I got everything I needed out of that. I'm good. I'm humbled. You feel me? Grateful. You feel me? Yeah. It's some other stuff too, but yeah. But I hope y'all like the video. You know what I'm talking about? Because Buddy was definitely resourceful there. I mean, I apologize. There was no numerology. You know what I'm saying? But we're good. We definitely got the information because he just told you what's going to happen to the SCP Foundation. One of these little background groups around here finna lose control of their junk. They're going to get something in there that they really can't contain. It played them because these entities, most of these entities they dealing with are intelligent, and I'm talking high intelligence. And they play dumb. Some just, you know what I'm saying? They don't even speak the language because they don't even use vocal cords. Like some of the entities don't even have vocal cords. You know what I'm talking about? So, they use telepathy, and there's some folk rock around here that's dealing with such thing. They ain't got these powers, man. So they just don't know what I'm telling you, these people are walking blind. They're just as blind as the folks that don't even have a clue that this stuff exists. I'm just gonna say it like that. Allegedly. hypothetically. You know what I mean? Because I'm just like, humor me. What's to say that this is what's going on. You know how many times that the world has been neuralized by broadcast and didn't even realize that we saw something that was wiped straight out of our memory bank? It's like waking up and don't remember what you did yesterday, and it's like, damn, when did I even go to sleep? I don't remember you know what I'm saying? It'd be those kind of times, like, what happened? When there's like a straight blank in your life. Like, what happened? You wake up like, what the? I know I do. You know what I'm saying? I have, not all the time though, but it's like certain times. And then as I get into more of this information, reading these books and viewing these videos and stuff like that, it's a lot of stuff is just popping in my mind. Like, whoa, like, you know what I mean? I get a lot of wow moments. You know what I'm saying? Or aha moments. I get a lot of those. Like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, this is that was the Kraken, y'all. The Kraken got on that ship. You hear me? Or something like the Kraken. It was big. And they haven't, you know what I'm saying, searched the whole entire ocean. We know that. There's cracks and crevices. It's like, dude, they ain't playing with it. They ain't got nothing for it. So, it's hard. I mean, you have to be naive as hell. Seriously, naive as hell. To even think that there couldn't be anything that big in that water. I mean, come on, dude. You have no argument. You don't. I don't care. You have no argument. You got perspective, opinion, and all that, but you ain't got no argument. It's not gonna stand. The whole entire ocean bottom of the entire planet has not been covered. Boy, they ain't even went inside the Amazon. They know more about up here than they know about anything around here. And then they keeping stuff that they do know from you around here. But then there's other places that they cannot go. The terrain either is messed up. The natives of that land, the indigenous of that land, know what take place in other places. So when certain faces pop up, they say, hey, you don't even get off the boat. Stay your ass. We know what y'all do. You feel me? And then there's other places where there's the phenomenons that go on that y'all just And then there's other things that some people up there told you. Y'all know it's a no-go. Yeah, we got all those. Y'all choose one. You know what I'm talking about? And just see how deep the rabbit hole goes. I'm telling you, when you get to the other end, they all going to be just like this in the chamber. You're going to walk through all that lined up. And it don't matter which one you go to, they're all going to lead to the same place. You're going to come and let it down. When you get to the other side, you're going to see all the doors. Like, wow. It don't matter which option you chose. It's going to lead to the same place, especially if you're going out of truth. If you're doing it for the truth, you're going to get to the same place. Everybody else does. Okay? So, head on the swivel. Stay out of that water. When you get documents that come out of the water, I wouldn't say face value it. But I definitely take a little bit more heed and pay a lot more attention to my surroundings and things that's going on. You know what I'm saying? It's not something that you just pick up, put down. Just think about this for a minute. All right. Don't forget to keep yourself spiritually, mentally, physically, and emotionally protected. Don't let the world drive you crazy. You know what I mean? Of course, keep your CT on. That's critical thinking. If you're new, that's critical thinking. We call it CT. Academates, you know what I'm saying? I am grateful that y'all stopped by and spent your time with me. Your energy, you know what I'm saying? And I do appreciate it. And I'm trying to give it back to you in return by when you come here to view, they actually give you some stuff other than, you know what I'm saying, what they don't want to be. You know what I mean? So I figured I'd give you some words of advice, some words of encouragement, you know what I'm saying, some wise words that you can just think on. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to listen to anything I say. You don't have to believe anything I say. You know what I mean? Everything doesn't resonate with everybody. Everybody's lives aren't the same. You know what I'm saying? So you pick up what resonates, you leave what doesn't for anybody else that comes through. That's why I ask that you like, share, and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? But no pressure, of course. The Academy will tell you there is no pressure to do that, but we do have pressure on us from Shadow Law. I don't know if it's YouTube or whoever the hell, but the Shadow Band, Shadow Law, same thing. Yeah. And we just really getting started, y'all. So, I mean, I don't know. But like I said, that's what they try to do, you know what I'm saying? When you speak a little bit of truth. I mean, just a tiny bit of truth come out of your mouth. They get mad. And then they like to do this to people. Real quick. They'll do that to you real quick. So peace and love to all the guys and goddesses and all the high vibrating species on the planet. Y'all be good out there. Come back and see me, because we going in.